This city is so renowned that even Hitler refused to bomb it during the Second World War. Welcome to Designing Your Travels. Today we're going to show you our travel review of the city of Prague, one of Europe's most unique, beautiful, and inspiring cities. Prague is one of Europe's best preserved cities, and you can be easily transported back to the days of Bohemian culture as you explore its old world charm for yourself. From medieval battles to the fall of communism in Eastern Europe, there is truly something for everyone. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as we take you through our review of Prague. The city was built on the banks of the Vltava River and is dotted with stunning bridges intertwined with a gorgeous skyline and pierced by architectural medieval church spires, earning it its lovely nickname, the City of 100 Spires. The history of Prague spans more than 1,000 years, during which time the city went from being known for being the home of the Vyšehrad Castle to becoming the capital of a modern European country, the Czech Republic. Located in Central Europe, Prague is naturally a hotspot for historical events. If you're more interested in shiny knight armors and tall castle towers, don't worry, we've got you covered. Our first stop needs to be the beautiful Prague Castle. This unbelievable castle can be compared to a mini-city, surrounded by the castle's magnificent ramparts, encompassing multiple buildings and streets within a fortified wall. Not only that, but it has been the seat of power for various monarchs, including several Bohemian kings and Roman emperors. Since 1918, it is now the official office of the Czech president. Even the infamous Adolf Hitler spent a night at the castle during the Nazi invasion in 1939. Entry to the grounds is free, but some buildings like the St. Vitus Cathedral, Basilica of St. George, and Golden Lane can be visited with a combined ticket, and we definitely recommend you guys check it out, as the inside of these buildings will blow your mind. Of note, we recommend Golden Lane. According to legends, alchemists had to look on this street to find a way to turn ordinary materials into gold. This is an ongoing debate among historians, but we would like to believe it to be true nonetheless. Once you're finished at the castle, take the Charles Bridge to our next destination, but the bridge is actually a destination in its own right. It was built by Charles IV in 1357 to replace the bridge that had been destroyed due to heavy flooding, and we are personally glad he did. It is utterly mesmerizing, completely free, and personally one of the best things to see in the city. While you're there, take a moment to visit the famous statue of St. John Nepomuk, also referred to as Jan Nepomucki. According to legend, the statue contains the saint's spirit inside. Who knows if that is true or not? There are also 2 bronze plaques below the statue, which tourists are obsessed with touching. Why, you may ask? Apparently, if you touch the plaques, then your wish will come true and you will also return to Prague. So make sure to give it a rub, we know we would. Next up is the Old Town Square, and by old, we mean 10th century old, so very, very old. Despite the history of invasions, the Old Town Square remained almost untouched and is often filled with crowds of tourists. Whilst there, we would recommend you visit the Old Town Hall, where the legendary astronomical clock chimes every hour. When that happens, the 2 windows of the clock open and the 12 apostles pass by, while the Grim Reaper rings the death bell and holds up an hourglass with his other hand. A spectacle that will last exactly 45 seconds, which anyone visiting Prague ought to see. If you're passing by at the wrong time and need to wait for the show to start, don't worry. There is a Starbucks right around the corner where you can grab a coffee while you wait. To finish off our architectural tour, we shall leave you with Vyšehrad Castle. It is the oldest seat of the Czech princes and is situated above the Vltava River, offering beautiful views of the city. In fact, the park area directly beneath also holds architectural treasures, such as the Romanesque Rotunda of St. Martin, the Neo-Gothic Church of St. Peter and Paul, and the National Cemetery of Slavin. You can even go underneath and see the original Baroque statues from the Charles Bridge. If you're sick of looking at the old architecture, we could spend weeks doing it, but we understand it's not for everyone. We are throwing a little bit of modernity into the mix with our next pick. The Franz Kafka rotating head, which was only built in 2014, but we have a feeling it will be a prominent piece of the city's history for years to come. It is quite literally a rotating head that moves when it feels like it, which makes it even more interesting to watch. Next up would be taking a trip to the Dancing House, nicknamed Fred and Ginger. It sits on the edge of the river Vltava, and it represents the movement of deconstructivism in the post-communist era in the Czech Republic. The building before the dancing house was accidentally destroyed by American air bombs, and its replacement was finished in the late 90s. It is so unique it is quite hard to explain unless you see it for yourself, so head on over. It has a gallery and a restaurant inside and is open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. As you can clearly see, there are far too many things to do in this stunning city, so we recommend taking some guided tours along the way to help you get through it all. Our personal favorites would be the Jewish Museum tour and a city tour. The Jewish Museum tour begins at the Old Town Square and ends in the Clausen Synagogue. All through the stops, you will be inundated with the history of the Jewish communities. Secondly, a Prague city tour would help ensure that you will not miss anything at all. Prices start from around $20 and increase depending on how many places you would wish to add to your tour and whether or not you would like to include dinner as well. If you're one of those people who likes to read about their history rather than walk through it, then this one's for you. So listen carefully. We will start with the KGB Museum. Who wouldn't love to see how the Russian spies used to operate and the tools that you use to spy on others? Anyone? Exactly. It's a must-see. Inside, you should expect to find spy cameras, secret weapons, and interrogation equipment, as well as photos taken by a KGB officer in 1968, which makes Prague look eerily empty. If you're interested in all things Cold War related, then the Museum of Communism should be next on your list. It is 380 Czech krona to enter, and its main focus is to provide you with an insight of what life was like in communist-era Czechoslovakia, including propaganda, censorship, and the secret police. Pro tip: check the museum's website to check ticket prices, tour timings, and any other requirements you may need. To end our communism trip, we recommend making a stop at the Cold War Museum, located underneath the luxury Hotel Yalta, which is an old fallout shelter built by the communists for their leaders and high-ranking officials of the Warsaw Pact to hide out in. Until 1989, it was the meeting place for the secret police, whilst they were bugging the hotel guests above them. So it seems fitting that it is now the site of the museum and is definitely worth a look-see for yourself. Next up, we have the museum to end all museums, the National Museum. From the 8th century to the First World War, there are over 2,000 exhibits telling a fascinating story that you won't want to miss. Prices start from 250 Czech krona. In fact, it became too big to house all of its collections that it expanded next door to the new National Museum, which was connected through an underground corridor in 2019. If you're looking for further excitement, then you need to head to the National Technical Museum, which is specifically dedicated to the preservation of information and artifacts related to the technological history in the Czech Republic, with prices starting from around 280 Czech krona. Finally, we have the Prague Beer Museum. If you'd rather drink your history, they have 30 beers on tap at any one time. If you're looking for something out there, then we suggest you head to Letná Park to be amazed. Here you will find possibly the world's largest metronome, called the Time Machine. We're serious. It was built in 1991 on the space left from the demolition of a giant monument to Joseph Stalin in 1962. Obviously, the metronome is a lot more enticing, just saying. The site offers a scenic view of the city if you want to chill out, or alternatively, the park is filled with things to do and see. From cycling, skateboarding, the Letná Carousel built in 1892, the Expo 58 Pavilion, the Letná Castle, and of course the beer garden, where you can sit with the locals, enjoy your pint on the wooden benches whilst overlooking the Vltava River. If you're feeling peckish, then fight the cravings with a Sunday lunch in Letenský zámek at the Letná Castle restaurant. Our alternative park option would be the Rigrovi Sady Park, which is essentially the VIP of parks. It has everything you could ever think of, from ice hockey to beer gardens serving a huge variety of drinks. There is quite literally something for everything, with events happening every single day. You would think that with all the breathtaking architecture in Prague that there wouldn't be much of a party scene, and you would be 100% incorrect. In fact, it is the direct opposite. Bars are everywhere, and the standard beer will cost you about $2 per pint. However, if you're feeling like going crazy and partying until the sun comes up, then we recommend you try the famous Czech drink, Becherovka. It is composed of about 20 herbs and spices, which gives it a unique and unforgettable taste. If you end up trying it, then please let us know in the comments below what you thought of it. If you're looking for a club to dance until the next day, we recommend that you check out Club Roxy Prague. This club hosts incredible DJs and live music nights, which makes it a hotspot and a staple of Prague's nightlife scene. If you feel like checking it out, expect house, techno, and drum and bass nights, plus the occasional hip-hop or pop concert. However, if that isn't your vibe, and you would like to just go to a place where you can order drinks, chill and talk to your friends without having to lose your voice, then head to the Black Angels Bar. Located in the basement of the Hotel U Prince in Old Town Square, Black Angels Bar serves award-winning vintage cocktails in a Prohibition-era setting. The cocktail menu pays homage to Alois Kritcher, an early 20th century Czech bartender and master mixologist who counted Al Capone, Coco Chanel, and Charlie Chaplin among his acquaintances. Pro tip: in keeping with the speakeasy spirit, smart casual attire is encouraged, and hats and photography are banned in the bar. For those who, after a night out, are looking for some street food to kill the munchies, go get yourself 1 or 2 slices of pizza at any of the pizza shops around town. We guarantee that this will sort you out. But if you went berserk and woke up with a hangover from the night before, nothing better than having hangover soup, aka garlic soup, to cure yourself of feeling like you have in fact been hit by a train the night before. When it comes to which restaurant you should choose, we would recommend you stay local, and we advise you to eat in Czech restaurants. A perfect example is the unique Usadu restaurant. This little cozy and welcoming Czech restaurant is a perfect pick for those visiting Prague. The pork tenderloin filled with jalapeno and smoked cheese is out of this world, and we would be remiss if we didn't recommend it. If that hasn't done it for you and you still feel like grabbing a dessert, head to one of the many Tridurnic shops for the perfect selection of local desserts. Affordable, beautiful, and tasty, Prague truly is unbeatable. Make sure to bring comfortable, waterproof shoes with you to get around the city, as walking is the best way to get around. But if you can't or don't want to walk from one place to another, then the tram and the metro will be your best options. The fare is fairly cheap, so make sure to buy your ticket, otherwise you will get fined. If you want to go to a place where public transportation won't take you or is too much of a hassle, then Uber will be your best option, especially for those coming and going from the city's airport. To finish off our review, we have added 2 bonuses. The first would be our top 3 places in Prague to take the best pictures: the John Lennon Wall, Old Town Square, and Periska Street. Our final bonus would be the 3 do's and don'ts when visiting Prague. Do plan your days. There's a lot of things to see and do, so make sure you have time reserved for the things which are priorities, especially if you're one of those people who likes to maximize your trips and do or see as much as possible. Do always carry a jumper or a sweater. If you're not visiting in the height of summertime, make sure to always carry an extra jumper, sweater, or a jacket with you. The weather in Prague tends to change in the blink of an eye, so even if in the morning there's a blue sky and the sun is shining, it could still be raining by the time evening comes around. So be prepared. Do take your time to appreciate details such as architecture, pieces of art, and the view. Don't call it Eastern Europe. Prague is located in Central Europe, just below Germany. Therefore, it is not located in Eastern Europe, and locals do get pretty offended if they hear you calling the Czech Republic Eastern Europe. Don't get drunk and out of control in the street. Nobody likes these people, and only trouble can come of it. Don't think that just because everything is beautiful that you are always safe. So be careful and watch out for pickpockets and aggressive street dwellers. That concludes our incredibly long review of the beautiful city of Prague. We hope you've enjoyed it. Please let us know in the comments below if you feel that we have missed your favorite place out, and we will incorporate it into another video. We love hearing from you. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel, where we post travel-related content every other day. As always, safe travels.